You listened to him on the KVJ show for years. Every time he tried to talk sports, he'd get shut down. After years of begging, we finally gave in. Brought to you by Bremen Motor Cars in West Palm and Jupiter. A world-class experience. Visit BremenBMW.com. And by Wellington Anti-Aging. Low T? Go to WellingtonAntiAging.com. It's Kevin's Other Show on 640 The Hurricane.
Yo, what's up? Happy Monday. Got Kev here with you, Ricky Bobby. Our girl Jordan is in here today.
Hello.
What's up?
This is a coffee at noon type of day.
It is, huh?
I am just exhausted from the weekend.
What did you do this
too.
weekend? That's so amazing.
A lot of drinking.
You
Just
did?
a lot. Yeah,
Just
friend's
went after
birthday
it.
party. Went
Yeah.
down to Fort Lauderdale for a little while.
Okay.
Found myself in a bar that nobody else that I was with was in.
You was just you.
Yeah.
There.
They were
off.
getting tattoos. I found a bar that had a live band. It was great.
Sounds amazing.
It was really great. And
Yeah.
then they were like, we're leaving. And I'm like, I have a beer. So I had to drink that quick and then leave. And then Saturday pool party all day long. And then yesterday, you figure after 2 days of drinking pretty heavily, you're like, oh, I'm going to calm down for a little bit. Nope.
Went after it again.
Yeah, I just did it.
Yeah.
Just did it.
I get this weird hang up. I cannot walk away from a beer. It's like,
Oh, I will never. No, it's
Yeah.
sacrilegious.
people are like, you don't have to drink that. Like, there's more where we're going. I'm like, I just,
No.
No, there's a perfectly good one right here.
Thank
exactly.
you. Yeah.
Well,
I'm like, yeah, I don't, I have to, it's like, it's a hang up and it's in my head. Like, it'll be 2 days later. I'm like going, you know what? I left 3 drinks of a beer
Yeah,
behind.
not an ounce to be spared. I make fun of my friend all the time because he drinks down to the very, very little last bit and then he leaves it there. And I'm like, sir, there's beer left in there. He goes, well, not much. I'm like, well, it's enough.
It is enough.
There are sober people.
Take care of it. I mean, there's people in places that
Yeah.
don't have beer.
Exactly.
Wasn't that a speech that your grandpa gave you when you were a kid?
Duh.
Yeah.
I think it's part of the American Constitution. I'll be honest.
Absolutely. So you went after it, huh?
I did. And so now this morning, I'm just like, it's been very, very
I
long.
feel you.
But I'm here and I'm ready to go.
Okay.
I'm actually ready to have another beer, I'll be honest.
Are you? There's something about that. It just
Wakes me
rebound,
right
go
back up,
after
right?
it.
It's like you're getting
Exactly.
right
You're
back
ready to
into
go
it
again.
immediately. Oy.
Yeah. Jordan, anything exciting over the weekend? What'd you get?
Barrett Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
I was
Yeah.
there all 4 days.
Oh, geez. Nonstop, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my
Is
gosh.
that why you smell like motor oil?
I showered last night, so I shouldn't.
Oh, boy.
They put me in a car with Tom.
Oh, yeah,
And-
this was very fun.
Who's Tom?
I don't know. I hope he was like, he's just a guy.
He's a professional driver, I think.
We thought. I don't know.
We were
He was-
told.
All I know is a car pulled up and like, get in. I'm like, who are you? He's like, I'm Tom. I'm like, all right. Vroom. He takes off. I look over. He's going 90 miles an hour.
Where?
At Barrett Jackson, you can sit as the passenger.
It's at the fairgrounds.
In, the,
South Florida
in one of the
Fairgrounds.
cars, and they take you for a lap.
They make a track?
No.
Yeah.
They just
Well-
have like
They just like you're
I
just
mean, it's
waving
not like
really?
a track. It's like a giant
handicaps
U.
and
yeah, it's kind of like a U, and this guy is going, Tom is going 90 miles an hour. And so here I am, and I'm trying to be cool and calm, but you
Yeah.
know, you can definitely feel it's like, all right, G-forces and stuff. It's like,
like, am I in an airplane?
and all of a sudden I'm like going, I don't want to tell this guy how to do his job.
Yeah.
But I'm like, Tom, you're going a little fast into this turn. I'm like, Tom, you're going a little quick. All of a sudden, the whole car just starts, I guess, drifting.
Oh, he was drifting with you.
Yes.
How old was Tom?
Tom looked like he was probably about 16. So we are
Thomas.
We are drifting. I am pooping. Like we are just. And I look over. This guy is so cool and calm. He's just chilling.
He's like
just,
texting.
I mean, this is like
tweeting.
This is
Kev
like nothing.
selfie.
He's like yawning. I'm like, and they have this whole thing on camera. And I
Yeah,
at this
they
point,
film you as you get.
Oh no
Yeah.
way!
As you
Yeah.
go on the ride.
Did you get it back yet?
yeah, it's on Kevin's other show on the Twitter. I think I put it up on that
Oh
one.
my
yeah,
God, that's amazing.
And I have in the turn. I've lost. Like I had Cool Face on, and then we hit that turn, and we lost control of the car, and Cool Face is
But
gone.
it was maybe you lost control on purpose though. It's drifting.
Well, it's drifting, I guess. But I asked him.
you
I'm
wonder
like,
why there was plastic on the seats when you sat down,
well,
and enough people probably pooed themselves.
I think after me there was.
They're like, Melissa, get the plastic out again.
And I
You've got a
a-
seeper.
I asked him. I'm like, do you have control of this car? He's like, nope. I'm like,
They really don't.
They really, and I talked to him like, seriously? He's like, no. He's like, but you know, they train us how to lose control of the car and then
get it back.
and then get it back.
Yeah, it's really crazy. My buddy used to be really into car racing and brought me out one time when they were doing drifting. As the scariest thing I've ever experienced. in my entire
Horrifying.
life. No, it's like
there's no way. It didn't
I'd
feel
much
like.
rather have a colonoscopy.
Yeah, it just didn't feel like it was big enough to do what he did in that space.
What kind of car was it?
Corvette.
It was a vet?
Yep.
Yeah.
He was drifting. That thing's like a boat.
Oh, yeah.
Oof.
It was nice.
See, like, we were in, like, little cars.
Okay, no.
So it was like Matchbox cars going around.
No.
So I wasn't really that worried. That's a big car.
It was a big car.
But it's wide. The odds of you flipping over are very.
I don't know.
At that point in time, all logic was out the window. You're like, okay, well, you think about the perimeter of the car. We're not going to be able to flip over. You're just like, I'm just trying not to poop my pants. I'm just trying not to poop my pants.
Well, I'm telling myself the entire time, like, you just want to remain cool. But it's,
Yeah.
When you are riding, and the person driving the car, I'm sure it's a lot different. But
Well,
the
it's like his
person
17th time he's done that today.
yeah, because he knows, I guess he feels it. It's all good. Have you ever seen that? Remember that one undercover video they did where I think it was a commercial for the Super Bowl, and they had, what was it, Rainbow Warrior? Yeah. Yeah,
Rainbow Warrior?
Yeah, Jeff Gordon.
Jeff Gordon.
Where they had him undercover, and they had this guy, and he went into a car dealership. It was like a Chevy dealership, and he
yeah.
acted like he's taking the guy for a test drive.
And he whips him around, scares the crap out of the guy.
Oh.
I mean,
my
he drives
goodness.
like a maniac, and he's ramping the car, and this guy's like, I am going to kick your ass. Jeff Gordon.
I wonder if they go back and they're like, mark down a board, got another one to poop today.
Yeah.
I
Good
had
job, Tom.
I had just eaten lunch, so I was like, I'm not doing this. Sorry.
So I had no excuse. I'm like, next thing I know,
Like-
boom, I'm in the car with Tom, and here we go.
Oh, my Lord, it was like a mafia. Kevin, get in.
I didn't think I was getting out. Well, from over the weekend, there was a lot of troubling things that happened. Probably the one that was the most surprising is the Heat just got, destroyed.
It's funny, when I looked at the score, I go, wow, they went to overtime. And then I realized, no, they didn't. That was 130 points in regulation.
Yeah, it's pretty
It was
unbelievable.
disgusting.
Yeah, it's pretty unreal. Yeah, I mean, just how much they got pummeled, and yeah, they did all that work
Without Joel Embiid.
Yeah,
So, like, once that dude comes back, it's going to be...
I guess. I mean, there's a part of me that thinks they stay small and quick. Are they going to be scoring more without him?
It depends. I mean, if the matchup is working the way it's working now, they may pepper him in.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. What is he's supposed to come back? What, by the Heat? By the time they come down here? Is that what it is?
Probably by Thursday's game, they think he's going to be playing here.
So they
in
probably just
AAA.
pepper him in just to get rid of the Heat, and then after that, I mean, it all depends on the lineup. Like if they're whoever they wind up facing after this,
Yeah.
if Embiid matches up, then he'll be in the whole plan.
Hassan Whiteside even yesterday was saying, "I've got to be more aggressive. I wasn't that aggressive." I mean,
Well, yeah, you need to be a lot more aggressive there, pal.
what do you think the percentage chance is that Hassan Whiteside is a member of the Miami Heat next year? It does not seem like it's going well.
I don't know. I mean, unless
I
like
don't know.
a massive trade package happens. I mean,
I don't know what you do with that
lot of money.
contract.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
That's tough. The Miami Heat kind of screwed themselves on that if they don't like him. But also, he's like the biggest star on the team. So I mean, like they were planned on building everything around him when they signed him that money. That's what that proved.
Well, he's the highest paid.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's the biggest star on the team.
Well, I mean,
He's supposed to be the biggest star on the team, but he is not.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So when they gave him that money,
Yeah.
that
That
means that
was
they
their
were telling
plan.
him, "You are our superstar.
Yeah.
You are what we're going to build around."
Gosh,
Yeah.
what a disappointment, huh?
Hey, man, that's Florida, though. They have a lot of really disappointing moments like that.
Yeah,
You think about how much money they gave in football and baseball and everything.
Yeah.
Nothing ever came of any of it, so.
Yeah, and there's just there's too many people behind him. I mean, Olenek is just making him look
Olynyk's
embarrassing.
nasty, yeah. And then who's the other kid, too?
Bam.
Yeah, and he's a rookie, isn't he?
Rookie, yeah.
And he's disgusting.
Yeah.
But it's funny because, I mean, you think you're going to be able to get this type of production out of a player like that, especially
Mm-hmm.
when you pay him a lot of money. But I always think that the money is what really ruins it for everybody because you see people, the best they ever play is in a contract year.
Yeah,
and
because
then
you're
it's
playing for something.
Yeah, you're playing for something. And then once you get that big
He's got the
contract,
money.
I mean, like you can kind of
And you can see it in his
fuzz
effort.
off for a little while.
Yeah,
It sucks. for them.
12 minutes and 26 seconds. He's your highest paid player, and you're playing for 12 minutes in the playoffs.
Jeez.
Well, but they had to, though. They had to.
Yeah, because he was sucking it up.
Well, not only that, though, but they
wasn't
had to
doing
go
anything.
small ball.
Yeah.
Because Philadelphia was pounding them.
Yeah.
The first quarter, I think it was like 25-27.
Mm-hmm.
They scored. The rest of them, they outscored them. The third quarter, they scored 35 points to Miami's 18. They got destroyed.
Oh, I know.
And then they just never recovered.
As bad as it could get.
No, it's just bad. But that's the reason why, though, is because they went small ball, so they couldn't play Hassan that much. Now, if Embiid was in there, you would
Mm-hmm.
see Hassan more, or you see Bam more.
You see a turnaround tonight?
No.
No.
No, I don't see any
No.
turnaround. I think Philadelphia is disgusting.
It's pretty much over, isn't it?
Yeah, but 130 in regulation.
I don't want to be that I'm giving up too soon guy, but
Well, I mean, You've been known to give up too soon.
Well,
there,
that's
sir.
why I'm not giving it in yet. I mean, I want to see what happens tonight, and they're
There's
away.
Listen,
and
there's
they're
a
away.
possibility. Yeah,
There's always a possibility.
Yeah.
there's always a possibility. But the odds.
I think they could go down 2. I think they could bring it to Miami. If they can even it up here in Miami, then I think that they still have a fighting chance.
So they have to win 2 in a row.
Yeah,
I don't
they
think they're
do.
gonna do that.
In Miami, I think they could.
I don't know. I think that's a high hope.
Maybe
you got
that
high
game
hopes.
one was a
High apple
wake-up
pie in the
call.
sky hopes.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
The only good news, maybe Misery Loves Company. They weren't the only team to get blown out. I mean, there was a lot of ugly losses. LeBron.
Yeah.
It makes me feel so much better. He got destroyed.
Yeah.
It's so cool to see that happen.
Yeah.
Because I despise him. Well, unless he was a Knick, then I love him to death. But, I mean,
Yeah.
other than that, if he's anywhere else besides New York, I hate him.
Right. 18-point loss for him. What is it? 98-80, I think.
It's just so good.
Yeah.
And they showed a percentage of his winning percentage in the first round, and I'm just trying to think.
He's
about it. I was
never
like-
lost.
I was like, he's never lost. But
Never
it was
lost
like
a round, yeah.
.829. I'm like, when is he lost?
Yeah.
So how is it .829? Why? Just because of this one win, it throws the whole thing off?
This is the first
Seems
time
odd.
that they lost the first game in an opening round.
Yeah.
He or the Cavs even in like 8 years.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
weird.
Yeah, so it's been forever. And he's not down. He's like, nah, he's not sweating it.
You know, I've always stayed even kill with the postseason. That's just, I'm down 0-1 in the first round. I was down 3-1 in the finals. So I'm the last
Forget
guy
that
to
one.
ask about how you gonna feel the next couple of days.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like, it's odd to see it happen, but the odds of him getting bounced in the first round are really, really slim.
You know who wasn't nearly as cool in their press conference? Popovich.
Oh, I love this man.
Yeah,
so
he was
much.
not. He was not happy.
He is just the best human being that
Yeah.
ever raced
Best.
basketball ever.
Yeah, they got run off the court too, and he wasn't real happy.
No, he was pissed. But he's always like this with them, which is really funny.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you want?
What a way to
That's
begin.
amazing.
That's the way he starts the whole thing. Okay, what do you want?
That's
Okay, what do you want?
amazing.
I'm so tired of this.
I'm telling you, man. Like he doesn't care. He just says whatever he wants.
Yeah.
He's the best. He's the best basketball voice that we have.
Yeah, I think you can, for each sport, you can give an award best at press conferences. Like, I think Nick Saban wins for college football.
Yeah.
Nick Sabans are just fantastic. Popovich for the NBA, right?
Yeah, for football, it's probably Bill Belichick, just because he just refuses to answer.
Just gives you nothing.
Yep.
Yeah, it just gives you nothing.
Run to Cincinnati.
What went wrong for you guys tonight?
Listen to the reporter.
Oh, scared. They're
This
terrified.
guy is pissing in his pants. You
Yeah,
can just
they're
hear.
terrified.
He's just.
What went wrong for you guys tonight?
Oh wait.
And he's.
He goes, whoa,
Whoa,
and then realizes that it was an afternoon game, and then has to go back on that. And be like, I mean, this afternoon. I apologize.
He's so nervous and flustered.
What went wrong for us?
Yeah, this afternoon. Sorry, I lost my.
They played better than we did.
Lost it. Sorry.
I just love. He has all these guys so afraid.
Oh yeah.
And then it's just like you don't want to come up and say something dumb because he is just going to attack the
Rip you
reporters.
a new one.
Oh yeah.
He's just, but they know it's coming.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
And it's why it's really funny, but he does it consistently. But it's just really great to see him be so. He was pretty jovial after a pretty bad ass whooping.
Yeah.
So I mean, but yeah, he's Pop.
No, he goes right after this guy here. Oh, hello.
You started Danny Green basically on Kevin. Was that? I mean, did
Here it comes. You can hear all
I mean did that work very well?
They're so timid.
These
No.
reporters
They're
are
so timid
they're all so beaten
because
down.
they're waiting. They're waiting
Popovich.
for the bomb to go off. That's why. You know, it's like it's yeah.
Did you watch the game?
Yes,
What do you think?
didn't.
It didn't work very well.
So then why are
So
you
we'll-
asking?
I just love it.
So we'll have Danny grow 4 or 5 inches by Monday night. Tell him to jump higher and move quicker. And we'll tell Kevin, don't be so good.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Here's pretty much how Popovich ended the entire press conference. Do you want to ask a question?
In the video, he's signaling like, "Ask a question. Ask a question."
These guys are like, it's like they're pushing
don't know
each
what to
other.
do.
Afraid.
No, you. No, I'm not going to ask.
I don't
one.
want to say it first.
You ask a question. I
Yeah.
don't want to ask a question.
Come on, you're getting paid.
These guys are all so afraid of him. I love it.
That's it? Okay.
All right.
Have a
Dad.
good night.
Bye.
Okay.
That was it.
Right. There you go.
Okay.
That was
done.
it.
Gosh, it's great.
That's amazing.
Let's just hope that the Spurs lose every game.
So we can hear that. It's gonna be awesome.
I root for that. That's pretty awesome. Coming up here in just a couple minutes, got a couple things to talk about, including a crazy story that happened out of Philadelphia, and it actually had nothing to do with sports. We'll talk about it next.
Stop. No. Kevin's other show.
The KVJ.
Don't tell those other guys. 640 The Hurricane.
Well, one of the big stories over the weekend doesn't have to do with sports, but it is a thread in sports that you hear nonstop. And that is social injustice.
Yeah.
We just talked about it last week with Colin Kaepernick.
Yep.
And what is going on with the anthem and him. And it looks like if he maintains his stance about continuing to kneel for the anthem, that he is never going to find himself with an NFL job.
It's going to be tough to find a job for you, sir.
Yeah.
Very
and
tough.
I know that a lot of people were paying their respects to Jackie Robinson over the weekend, including Colin Kaepernick, that sent out a tweet. And he used this quote from Jackie Robinson that he attributed to the former baseball player. It said, "I cannot stand and sing the anthem. I cannot salute the flag. I know that I am a black man in a white world." Guy who broke the color barrier in baseball.
Yes.
And did
During the time of segregation, everything like that, when equal rights weren't divvied out.
And I even saw kind of parlaying to this, and the thing about the anthem as well is Beyonce over the weekend was at Coachella, and she performed what many call the Black National Anthem. Like there's almost a separate anthem.
What is that? The one she did at the Super Bowl or whatever it was?
No, it's
Formation or something?
No, it's not Formation. It's Voices Loud Stream, something like that. It's got a title to it. I wasn't even aware of it until I even saw the story.
I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Almost like the formulation of, yes, a separate national anthem.
Wow.
And then over the weekend, this whole thing, it does add into the Colin Kaepernick story about using sports as a platform. And should you or should you not? And I'm sure a story for so many to look at over the weekend is what happened at the Starbucks in Philadelphia. And the worst of what no one would ever want to have happen is most likely somebody was treated unfairly because of the color of their skin, as there were two black men that were in a Starbucks waiting for a white friend to show up. And there is a policy where if to use the bathroom, they would like for you to purchase something. But one of the men used the restroom, and the topic came up. The police were called, and the men were arrested and taken out of the Starbucks. Even the CEO of Starbucks is calling the arrest deplorable and is trying to do what he can. But if you watch the news this morning, there was a lot of picketers out front of that Starbucks and saying, look, our goal is for them to not make any money in here today.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But you know what's really funny is that Starbucks is going to try and spin this as the cops did something wrong here. And the cops didn't. The cops ran protocol. If you call somebody, you're a business, and you call and you say, hey, we have two trespassers, they have to come and arrest you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's part of the whole entire thing. But they're going to spin it on these cops now and say that the cops were using they overused their power. Yeah.
Yeah. The protesters as well wanted to have the Starbucks employee who did call the police in the first place to be fired from their job.
So these people are this is so trivial, though. I mean, like it's a dumb mistake by the employee, but I mean, to go to the lengths of trying to get the person fired and everything like that, it's like, I don't know, maybe it wasn't racist intent. It just seems to be just by the way that it's laid out.
Yeah.
Like maybe the person wasn't really trying to say, get these two black people out of here.
Just get these people out of
Yeah,
here.
just get these people out of here.
Well, I think the ultimate question that was asked even on the initial social media posts that were coming out of the Starbucks in Philadelphia was, if this were two white people, would they have been harassed like that? Would the police have been called? Would there have been any kind of issue? And that is the ultimate question you don't know.
Yeah.
And how
You're
often
never
does
gonna
it happen?
know.
You
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, it's
You're
sticky.
never going to know because that's not what happened.
But it's another big national story that is thrown into the
Right.
agenda about race equality here in the United States and people being treated differently.
Yeah.
And then piggybacking on that was the story of the black kid who had missed his school bus and was trying to get to school And he stopped and knocked on a door to try to get directions to his school because he wasn't familiar with the route because he was walking, and there was a white woman that answered the door. She thought, okay, something weird's going on, lets her husband know, and he brings out a shotgun and fires off a shot at the kid.
He shot the kid?
That is
Shot
ridiculous.
at the kid. Thank God he missed
my
the kid.
Lord.
That's ridiculous.
Right. But again, it goes
Yes,
to
there's
show
an
you-
old white woman.
Probably.
Yeah, most likely.
It
That,
just-
old stigmas that are
Yeah.
there. And his mom even had told him, said, and unfortunately, it's a conversation that a lot of African American moms have to have with their sons in this country, saying, especially at night, you can't wear a hoodie, you can't have your hands in your pockets. There's just so many things, I'm afraid, because of what might happen to you. And that's a conversation that doesn't really happen with white youth in America. You don't have to have the same conversations. And so, yeah,
Not usually.
there is a difference. And so
It's sad, though.
it is sad. Absolutely. And the one thing I thought was positive with this, and in the comments that came out of Philadelphia and the Starbucks that were there was a black man that was commenting on Twitter, and he said what was great is that white people were standing up to the police that were there and saying this is not
they didn't do
fair.
anything wrong.
Saying yes, if
Yeah.
you are white and you hate what you are seeing with any kind of racial injustice in this country, stand alongside anyone.
up.
Yeah, speak up, say something. Don't let it happen. I think it's a good lesson to anyone that's
Isn't
out
that-
there.
Isn't that just human decency? Like, I don't understand why it has to be
Be
so...
about color, yeah.
has nothing-
like, why does that
nothing
have
to
to
do-
come into it at all?
It makes no sense. Like, I mean, to say that now is almost kind of dumb because it's like that's the way it should be. You shouldn't never have
You
to
shouldn't
be
be
told
applauded
that.
for standing up for someone. You
Like,
should
that's
just
your-
be
that's your-
already doing
yeah,
it.
that's your
You're a
job
good
as a human
person.
being.
Yeah.
I think too often people you get freaked out because you see these stories that things escalate so quickly
Mm-hmm.
out there.
This is
and
true.
People are insane. And so
Especially when the police start getting involved too.
And
Because
I think-
people have adverse
Right.
reactions to the police.
yeah, and the comment that they made said, thank goodness that a white person stood up and said something, because if somebody that were black or African American might have stood up, they might have wound up getting arrested too. Who knows?
You never know. It's a really fine line we walk with all that, and it's
Yeah.
just, it's impossible to be able to really tell what exactly is going on.
Yeah,
Because
but-
I mean, you have so many humans that are all trying to process
Right.
the same situation. And It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
everybody is fallible.
Right.
So I mean, you just never know. But it's sad.
I don't understand how using the bathroom goes to calling the cops, like escalates that far. They just wanted to use the bathroom.
And I
Who
think-
cares?
I think
know
that's
if it's
what the
against your
question is.
policy, but I
Right.
don't think your policy is to arrest people that use the bathroom.
Well, and you've
when
got
they
the
don't buy
kind,
anything.
you've got the kind of establishment where people come and just chill. I mean, that's kind of it. I mean,
Right.
Yeah, you see these dopey kids in there working on their next app and stuff like that.
They
and-
come just to use Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Like
there's
not
some
even
people use it
necessarily
like it's
buy
an
anything.
office, and
Yeah.
they are there like all day.
The
Yeah.
worst is when you go in there and
Have
people are
meetings
holding
there?
business meetings. And you do it
Yeah.
in public, you dope.
Right.
I don't care about your business.
So why does that
Yeah.
any different from someone wanting to use the bathroom?
I think ultimately what it is, and the things that, with every story, hopefully, maybe you learn something, maybe you have a new awareness. For me, is just having the awareness of how really, if we're going to knock down any of these racial barriers that we have in this country, that everybody has got to be involved.
Yeah.
It's not just something that is on the shoulders of African Americans or people that are Latino or whatever it might be. It's everybody's got to get involved with this. And the other thing that I find to be a little bit alarming and scary is I'm afraid of the anthem protests. I'm afraid of a secondary anthem. I'm afraid of almost like we've got a separate secondary
Because
society.
I feel like that's just going backwards.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, it
not,
totally
It's
is.
not
Yeah,
moving
it's
us
reversing
forward at all.
everything
Yeah.
that we've done.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And you hate that. And, hey, I would understand why you would feel like you need that you feel disenfranchised by this country and by this anthem and by this flag. To me, I hate to see that. That's why I think
Right.
more than ever, we got to move
Make the
more
changes so that they don't go backwards.
and more quickly.
Yes.
So these stories can go away so that you
People
don't have
can
to have
learn
these
how to be
conversations.
human, decent being.
Right. Yeah.
A decent human being.
Decent human being.
And speak well as well.
It's only radio.
Use my words properly.
It's Monday.
It's only
We forgive you.
it's only an audio medium.
We forgive you.
Coming up here, there was a sad death in Hollywood, and it was from somebody with a movie that I think is maybe one of the most masterful linguists, a guy that could talk, had some of the most quotable lines ever in film. We'll pay tribute to coming up next.
Welcome to the most introspective sports show you'll ever hear. Oh, wait. Kevin's doing it? Never mind. It's Kevin's Other Show on 640 The Hurricane.
I am Gunnery Sergeant Hardman, your senior drill instructor. From now on, you will speak only when spoken to. And the first and last words out of your filthy sewers will be, sir. Do you maggots understand that?
That's right. Gunnery Sergeant Hartman. That was from Full Metal Jacket. And as I was listening to some of the quotes, I'm like, going, can't play that.
Yeah,
can't play that.
It's like all of my favorite quotes
Are
from him. You
inappropriate.
cannot say on radio.
You can't play that, no. Because even just bleeping it out, like there would be...
Then it ruins it.
Right, it completely like,
No.
yeah. It
His
ruins-
delivery is half of it. That's why.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, maybe the best quotable movie of all time. I would argue it's one of the top.
Oh yeah. I mean, but you know what though? Only the first half because it's really 2 movies.
It really is.
It's,
Yeah,
it's
you're right.
basic training and
Yeah.
then when they actually go to Korea.
Do you? That's one of those movies where I only watch half of it.
Yeah.
And as soon as they go,
I've watched the full movie, but now I only watch the first half. Is the only part that really excites me.
yeah, I have that with so many movies now. I put them on for just a little bit of time, and usually they're movies that fit in this category, the most quotable movies of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Where would you think Full Metal Jacket deserves to be? Because I looked at the ranker list here of where it is. Where would you think, in your opinion?
Is this like out of 100?
It is. Yeah, go 50.
Okay, so
I'll give you
it's
that.
within 50.
Yeah, within 50. Where do you
I
think
mean,
Full Metal Jacket
I feel
falls?
like it has to be in the top 20.
It should be, I think.
It's not
30.
30.
They got it at 30 on the list.
Now I'm really curious to find out what the rest of
else?
these
Yeah.
dumb movies are.
Yeah, that's
30.
Yeah, 30.
What half dummy put this together?
It's Ranker, and that's one of those things where it's like it's the American dummy, so you can go on there and vote up or down, give your take
Oh,
on what
I
you think of
see,
it. Yeah.
I see,
So
I
this is
see.
actually from one website's
I
take.
wonder why we're going backwards.
Number one movie they got, most quotable of all time. They've got Forrest Gump.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty quotable.
Got a few.
Yeah.
They've got Monty Python, The Holy Grail at number 2.
Okay, well, I would put that up there probably number 1, but.
Okay, Airplane at number 3.
Wow, I didn't even think of these movies, too. These are great quotable movies.
So do you see why maybe it's not a 30?
Yeah, maybe. Well, I mean, I'm curious to see. Yeah, okay, keep going.
Princess Bride at number 4.
Another good one.
And they got The Godfather at number 5.
There is not a day that goes by that a Godfather line is not uttered by me or somebody around me.
Yeah.
Every day. It's unbelievable how
Right.
much The Godfather is just in our lives.
So you're believing, you're sounding off on the top 5
I'm starting
right now.
I'm starting to believe on I'm starting to believe what's going on with
After you heard
American.
the top
I'm reinvigorated into the intelligence of the American people.
Okay, all right.
There's hope.
There is hope.
They've got some of the other ones you would recognize. Anchorman at 6.
Oh, see now,
Yeah,
okay,
that's
now
a good
I think
one.
Anchorman should be higher up there though, because Anchorman literally has that has some of the most all Will Ferrell movies for the most part are super quotable. Between that, Elf Talladega
is-
Nights,
Yeah.
Am I missing The Princess Bride? Is it that quotable?
it really is. But
Is
it's super quirky, and that's why. But
But
it's like,
number 4?
I don't know. I wouldn't put it at number 4. I would definitely put Anchorman up in that spot.
Like I say, I've got to move that up. Got to move Princess Bride down.
I would move Princess Bride out of the top 10.
Okay. Some of the other ones, I love the movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off,
Yeah.
but is it one of the most quotable movies of all time?
I mean, if you watched it profusely, I guess so. But I mean, I've watched it twice.
Bueller. I mean,
That's about it. Yeah,
That's
the Ben
like
Stein
the
part
most
is probably about
popular,
it.
yeah.
It's not taken away from the movie. It's a fantastic movie. I
No,
just
it's a
don't know
great
if it's one of the most quotable.
It's definitely a classic.
Yeah, especially when you're talking about missing movies like Caddyshack. That's
Yeah.
at 11.
Mhm. I even like the second one. The second
No,
Caddyshack.
you do not.
I do.
No, you do not.
Are you kidding me?
No, you don't.
Oh my God, who is it? Jackie Gleason?
It's
No.
maybe it's Jonathan Silverman, right?
Who?
Isn't it Weekend at Bernie's in the second Caddyshack?
Okay, first of all, Weekend at Bernie's is one of the best movies ever created in the entire planet. And the second one, when he dances, I cry every time from laughter.
The second Weekend at
The
Bernie's?
second Weekend at Bernie's, where they put the voodoo on him.
What is it with you and awful sequels? Are
Dude,
you
these are so
serious?
no, it's so good.
Are you serious?
The
You
first
are
Bernie
the
was
only
good.
person I've that has that you are the only person I know that would say Caddyshack 2 and Weekend at Bernie's 2
Alfonso
are great
Noon.
movies.
He's Alfonso Noon. What's Alfonso Noon? Alfonso Noon is somebody that farts in the tub and eats the bubbles. You never? I mean, like it's
come
such
on.
a funny
No,
movie.
it's not.
I was just able to quote it.
You've just everything that
You
you
added it
said.
to the
You've
list.
lost all credibility.
What are you talking
All
about?
credibility in
Wait,
this.
have you even seen
Caddyshack
Weekend at
2
Bernie's 2?
Caddyshack 2 is regarded as probably the worst sequel of all time. And it
Oh.
almost completely
We can't.
ruins the memory of the first Caddyshack.
I don't look at them on the same level.
Because they're not.
They're not. No.
You
I
can't even
separate
put them on the same
No.
level.
I don't even consider them. I just say 2. I don't even say Caddyshack. It's 2. I'd take Caddyshack right out of there.
Were you high when you saw Caddyshack 2? Had to be. Okay.
Listen, I've watched that movie a lot, okay? I thought it was very funny.
There is a different scale. Rotten Tomatoes, you know how they have like Critics' Choice and
Yeah.
People's Choice? They need to put Stoner's Choice because there is a brand of movie that only works if you're unbelievably high.
Oh, wait a second.
Maybe
though.
Caddyshack 2 fits in there.
But
yeah.
The Weekend at Bernie's too, you're really going to knock that one? I mean, that's...
Yes. What did they even do? I mean,
Weekend
he's
at
still
Bernie's-
dead.
He's
I mean,
still
come
dead.
on. Like the
Yes.
first one was insane because
It
you
was
know, he's
nuts.
in the ocean. He's in a pool. He's
Physical
everywhere.
comedy, though. It was like one of the
but
one of the best physical comedy movies I've ever seen.
After a while, he's been dead for like months, and,
And,
they're still
it doesn't
dragging-
rot,
and
doesn't smell. Very
it's
odd.
like
I know. There's
Very
a lot of
odd.
loopholes.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's a little
but in the second one, they put voodoo on him, and then when he hears music, he dances.
No.
I swear, he dances to
I
a
forgot
pot
how
of
awful
gold.
that was.
It was so great because he dances. He's a dancing dead man, and he music goes on. He like dances out of the morgue. I mean, it's so good.
All right, you know what we're gonna have to do is we have to do our homework because coming up on Friday it's 420. So we have to do the movies that are only good if you're stoned. The best
you
stoner
go.
movies
Perfect.
of all time. Maybe I'll give you that. Caddyshack 2, Weekend at Bernie's 2. If you're really high,
I'm a big
it's
sequel
fantastic.
guy. I'm a big sequel guy.
Big
Apparently.
Lebowski.
Yeah, it's a very quotable movie.
You know, I've never even seen that.
I saw half of it, so
Okay.
I'm not. Yeah.
I know it's like everybody seems to love it. They go crazy for it. Some of the other ones get a little bit weak, I think, and that's why I think Full Metal Jacket needs to be a lot higher because they
It
put
should be
movies
higher.
which are good but aren't like deserving of
Yeah.
being for the most quotable. They've got like Back to the Future.
What?
No,
the
I
most
think
quotable.
That's stupid.
1.21 gigawatts?
Yeah.
No, I think that's stupid.
What? Okay.
No.
First of all, second one was pretty good. By the way,
Here we go again.
solid sequel.
The Breakfast Club, most quotable movie.
Yeah.
What can you even quote
I
from
don't
that?
know.
What's the quote? I don't know what the quote is.
I don't know. I saw it.
I think
twice.
it's just a memorable movie. I don't think
It's a classic.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Definitely
yeah,
a classic.
you can't confuse the two with the most quotable. So then you got Full Metal Jacket all the way down at number 30.
That's really stupid. Where's the Goofy movie on this?
Didn't make it. Dumb and Dumber.
That is some crap. Dumb and Dumber? Yeah, the first
34.
one. Did you see the second one, by the way?
Yeah.
It was really
Stoner-
bad. No, it was really
Oh,
bad.
yeah.
There's nothing that.
Oh,
no.
there's one he
I could
doesn't
I could have been
like.
doing Angel Dust. That wasn't going to be good.
And they got Mean Girls at 35.
Oh, yes.
Oh, now see, now Mean
Yes.
Girls should be definitely higher up on the
That,
list.
no,
I
it
agree.
really should.
Super
Yeah.
quotable movie.
It should.
And the first one she really chimed in on because I don't think she saw 90% of the movies that you were
No,
talking
probably
about.
not. Yeah.
I've seen some of them.
That's why I saved it for the end. I knew she'd be like, okay.
Oh, now I'm in this.
Now I'm back
Now
in.
we're going. Let's talk
I'm
about my
here.
movies.
Yeah, now I'm back in.
Where's the Spice Girls movie?
Coming up, talking about being stoned.
No.
Yes, we've got VIP to Ozzy if you want to go see Ozzy when he's going to be coming to South Florida. And probably a good choice, too. Ozzy has decided to quit driving.
Oh, thank
Oh,
God.
good.
Yeah, he probably should have never decided to start. We'll tell you
No.
why exactly he's quitting coming up next.
Think Gloria did a bad job? Wait till you hear this crap. It's Kevin's Other Show on 640 The Hurricane.
We believe in VIP around here at 640 The Hurricane. That's why when we send you to the Fort Rock Festival to check out Ozzy Osbourne, Godsmack, Stone Temple Pilots, Five Finger Death Punch, Stone Sour, and Shinedown, we're going to send you VIP with tickets, entrances, lounge, viewing area, and most importantly, maybe the VIP restrooms.
Oh, that's really a necessity.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Going to be Markham Park coming up here in just a couple of weeks. Just about 12 days away, the 28th and 29th. So not this weekend, following weekend. So jump on quickly to get those tickets. 640thehurricane.com is how you do it.
It's going to be a great concert.
Yeah, it is going to be fantastic. Ozzy Osbourne has decided to stop driving, so he will not be driving himself.
I'm just surprised he drove in the first place when this came out, I'll be honest.
Could you imagine
He
watching
could barely
Oz-
talk. I mean, I guess he was a drive.
Here is his explanation for exactly why he's decided to quit driving.
Come along, let me put it, let me put it in another way. In the late '80s, when it's just I don't know. God bless you.
Hey, God bless you.
It's not real.
Sharon! Sharon!
It's like at the end, there's a sneeze.
Yeah, I'm like, what? God bless you.
It goes on, yeah. Uh-huh.
And the God bless you is so audible too.
God bless you, yeah.
it's
That's
like,
the only part you understand.
you can understand him there. And then
Yeah.
back in the late 80s.
God bless you.
He's like, what? God bless you.
He's actually trying. I think he's still holding on to the sobriety thing, right? I think he's doing okay, at least as far
I
as
think the drugs are doing him now. I think that's really. I think the role has been reversed, and the drugs are now
It's
coming
just-
back
yeah.
to just smoke him.
Ruin his brain.
That's it. It's
Done.
he is no longer
can
doing
tell.
drugs. They have counteracted and come back for him.
That's pretty amazing stuff here. Here's a little tribute to Ozzy deciding to give up driving.
Can make 3-pointers. Looks like I'll never learn. Guess you'll find me in the HOV lane.
In the late 80s when it
Getting driven to work in the HOV lane.
That's right, baby.
The HOV lane for Ozman. Jesus, imagine being his driver.
Having to deal with all that?
I think it'd be entertaining. I mean, honestly,
Probably.
Entertaining. You wouldn't be able to understand him. But it's like
Yeah.
driving an infant around.
Oh, I know. But remember how good the reality show was that they had?
I have it on DVD. Like it was
Their
like
show is
I don't
amazing.
like reality TV shows, but
And
for
it's
some
just
odd reason
so
I got so
entertaining.
locked into it.
Yeah, no, it was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I have all seasons on DVD.
Yeah, it was one of the best ever. I've been into this interesting saga that has been going on here. Something has been happening on KVJ. I was at this sports bar, and I see this guy with this red Ferrari that is parked in the handicap spot.
Did you have like a flashback of Tom? You're like, Tom!
Yeah, Tom. No, it wasn't anything about the guy that was driving. No, but
That was a Corvette.
I see this guy, and so I'm trying to like investigate, find out more about this guy because he pulls in the handicap spot, no handicap placard, all this kind of stuff, and I don't know why. Just inquiring minds want to know because I saw as soon as he parked, and I think part of it was as I was walking in, he was behind me revving, doing that like get out of my way rev kind of like thing. So you're like, who is this guy? And then you see him, he pulls back and he backs in.
Of course.
To the handicap spot.
But you have to.
Springs out of his Ferrari and then goes jetting right into the sports bar. And you're just like, okay, all right. So what is this guy's story? So I've been like on this ongoing quest to try to like find out what
like
this cat's all about.
staking out the
Well, I feel bad.
sitting
like,
outside.
I don't know why I become disinvested in this. And I really shouldn't because just about maybe a week or so ago, I was laughing at this guy named Stanley Roberts in this viral clip. This guy, Stanley Roberts, he is one of these kind of like on your side reporters at K-Ron in San Francisco.
Investigative reporters.
Yeah, and I'm starting to sound like Stanley Roberts because he goes out and one of his quests is to bust people that are parking in handicap spots with illegal placards.
Yeah.
And apparently that is a problem as well.
Yeah, it's not right.
But the thing that's awesome is Stanley Roberts gets this guy in trouble, and this guy turns on Stanley Roberts, the reporter.
Great.
As he's trying to do this. Yes, here was Stanley Roberts. He's on the scene.
Video thing in my car, you know I could break it, right?
If you break, if you touch
if
the
it goes in my car, I can break it.
Okay.
And so put it in my car if you want
It's
to.
not
put it
in your
my
car, sir.
Exactly. I bet you won't go in my car.
I'm not going. Why would I do
You
that?
won't go in my car, like I said. So since you're so tough and so smart, Stanley, like I said, put it in my car.
No.
It will get broke. Put it in my car. Can I get the ticket,
Thank you,
please?
sir. Have
Like
a
I
good
said,
day.
put it in my car, Stanley
you can give me the
Roberts. Thank you.
Stanley Roberts.
Badass. All right.
Oh! At the end of that.
Oh yeah, he drops it like right on, right at the end. But this guy's like not even done. So it just gets going. And Stanley Roberts is like he just doesn't know when to say when. So he's got this guy that's obviously very fired up, and he's not real happy that he's got this ticket in the first place. And so this guy just unleashes on Stanley Roberts.
Oh boy.
What about people overeating on Channel 4? Fat ass. How about that?
Oh.
Thank you, sir.
Build up your 1-800. Get them, chubby butt.
Have a good day.
You too, fat ass.
1-800 get thin. Get thin, chubby butt.
Chubby butt.
Wow, that guy was really mad about the fact that he.
Oh yeah. I don't know who I feel sorrier for. Stanley Roberts out there having to be called fat ass.
Oh, Stanley Roberts for sure.
Or the people that had to interview Greg Popovich.
Oh. But hey, at least Stanley didn't know it was coming, so he was genuinely surprised. Those reporters
Had to
have been whipped by Greg Popovich, and that's why they're so timid asking those questions.
They already know how it goes.
Not even remembering what time of day the actual thing was.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, what do you want?
Like right away. I love how he just throws down the gauntlet right away.
Yes, immediately.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you want?
This is what you're going to get.
He's making a joke before about the Gatorade bottle, and he's like, is this Gatorade bottle supposed to be here? Is it not supposed to be here? He's like, what if I don't want to endorse this? It has too much sugar. It's too much electrolytes. And he's looking at it, and nobody's doing it. He goes, it's a joke, guys. Loosen up.
Everyone is so afraid.
They're so timid when it comes to him.
No one wants to say anything. Nobody wants to do anything. All right, well, hey, if you want to check out the show, we are on YouTube. Just go Kevin's Other Show. Easy to find. You got the podcast, too. It's either broken up by segment or you got the entire show all the way through. Just go find it, search for it, Kevin's Other Show.
You listened to him on the KVJ show for years. Every time he tried to talk sports, he'd get shut down. After years of begging, we finally gave in. Brought to you by Wellington Anti-Aging. Low T? Go to WellingtonAntiAging.com. And by Bremen Motor Cars in West Palm Beach. A world-class experience. Shop BremenPorsche.com now. It's Kevin's Other Show on 640 The Hurricane.